welcome to a quick episode of Velocity Kinetics, or at least I'm hoping it's going to be quick, because I'm on a timer to do things. Just a reaction to the news today, and when I saw it this morning I thought, oh, it's just the rumour mill going into overdrive because everyone is bored. I'd assumed this morning, when I'd seen and heard about the news, I'd assumed it was just because everyone had gotten bored in the off-season, that people were looking for something to report about, even if it meant making something up or just rehashing an old rumour, because it's not the first time we've heard about Hamilton potentially going off to Ferrari. There was quite a lot of it last year. And I'm aware there have been flirtations in the past between the two. Now, say what you like about Hamilton. Like him, hate him, or like me, be like myself, where I'm not a massive fan of the man, unless I met him on a one-to-one basis, potentially. But he's a hell of a driver. It's a weird move. Not a bad one, because I've said years ago in a video that he should go to Ferrari, but it's a weird move. And what do I mean by weird? Well, the fact, so far in his career, aside from that weird period in the 70s where you either had a Ferrari engine or a Ford Cosworth DFV, he's the only driver to have ever been powered by the same manufacturer throughout his entire championships. If you think about it, guys in the 50s, 60s either typically had a Climax or a Ford engine, typically, unless they're in the Ferrari, or the Matra engine, typically. And then in the 70s, it was mostly Ferrari or Ford, and I can't think of anyone else having a different engine at that time, until Porsche came along, and Renault's early 4A. So, you know, it's a very weird record to have, and if he was to announce his retirement today, he would go down as a 7-time world champion, powered 7 times by Mercedes. And then, when did he arrive? 2007, my maths is appalling. So what, we're in 2024 now, so that would be, what, 16, 17 seasons, all powered by Mercedes. It's weird to a point that I would think if I were to cut the man in half, he'd bleed silver for the silver arrows. But supposedly now not the case. Ferrari come a-calling. Sorry, my machine in the background's going to go mad in a minute. But Ferrari powered. That'll be interesting. I think, just purely in my armchair analyst perspective, I'm wondering, how bad is the W15 on the sim / the numbers coming out the wind tunnel? I'm aware Mercedes had an issue with crash testing, because Alpine have also got an issue with crash testing. Hide that away. But they had an issue with the Alpines was the side pod, side impact protection, and Mercedes, I believe, was the nose cone. And for a team like Mercedes to fail at that is quite unheard of. Not impossible, but it's a bit unheard of. So I'm wondering whether the news out of Mercedes isn't very good. Is he feeling internally that same churning of discontentment that he felt at McLaren before he went to Mercedes? It's entirely possible. I'm wondering whether he's thinking of doing something similar to what he did when he joined Mercedes. Because he used 2013 to bed himself in. 2014, when the rules changed, he went up and running, and he has become the multiple. And in fairness, I know people go, oh, he should be an 8. Actually, he should be a 9 potentially. If you believe Lewis deserved that championship instead of Max, he should be a 9, because in 2011 and 2012, McLaren dropped the ball so much that Lewis should have actually, in my opinion, had his second world championship at McLaren. But that's just my armchair opinion, and from all my writing for Pure Racing Fuel and Sport Right Now, way back when. So I wonder whether he's got the same feeling of discontentment and just wants out, whether he's using the rest of this rule cycle to get in with Ferrari to then hopefully help them deliver a beast of a car for 2025. It's a mission statement from Ferrari that they're getting someone of his calibre, because they haven't had someone of a multiple world championship or world championship calibre since Vettel and Raikkonen, really, have they? But that doesn't guarantee results, does it? Because Leclerc went on a tear in 2022 and came frustratingly close to making Ferrari history, as in breaking that string of no championships. It's a bold move from Ferrari, a very expensive move. It'll be interesting. I'm sure Lewis will be the first person under the Union Jack. I know people would cite Eddie Irvine, but I'm sure Eddie Irvine raced under the Irish flag. But he'd be the first Englishman that I can think of since Nigel Mansell at Ferrari, which will be interesting to say the least. I did think years ago Jenson Button should have gone to Ferrari, and that should have been broken then, but there we are. If it plays out as Lewis is gambling it will, this will be a ridiculously good move. And if you didn't think Lewis was an all-time great, whether you're going to go to say whether you're going to add statistically in front of it or believe he is an all-time great, then if he wins a championship at Ferrari, making it his 8th, breaking Ferrari's duck since Raikkonen, what more will it do to impress you? And like I said, I'm not a massive fan of the man, but I would like to meet him one-to-one, because it might just be the way he's presented in the media that makes him grind me the wrong way. He is undoubtedly one of the best, if not the best. That's it in a nutshell. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to seeing it happen. It's astounding that the move has happened now. So now it's who takes the Mercedes seat. It's interesting because there was a lot of talk about potentially Albon going to Ferrari, and I suppose that's still possible. Ferrari could still boot Leclerc out, or Leclerc might. I'm assuming he's got some sort of performance clause, a two-way performance clause in his contract that could potentially see him dropped and maybe Albon brought up. But then it does make you wonder who will fill his seat at Mercedes, because they've got their junior driver whose name escapes me at the moment. They've got Mick Schumacher. There's also other drivers on the grid who deserve that shot, such as Sainz would be a very good fit. Sainz is a very good fit for any team. They could recall Bottas, potentially, especially if Mercedes are not fighting at the very front. A more competitive environment for Bottas might be... Personally, I think what should happen with Bottas is Williams should sign him and have him and Albon drag the team back up, but that's just my opinion. And I think Valtteri's not long for F1 as a whole, whether that's just him getting tired of it or stress, mental health, or what have you, I don't know, but personal opinion. Anyway, there's also the likes of, if Fernando's still kicking around, Fernando could go to Mercedes and try and seek those next wins and that elusive WDC, which I don't think Aston Martin's going to bring. I'm pretty sure Aston Martin were a flash in the pan. I would love to be proven wrong, and I would love to see the British racing green of Aston Martin at the front with Fernando Alonso leading the charge. I just can't see it happening. I would also love to see McLaren back up there. But with that seat opening, talking of McLaren, could Norris activate some sort of performance clause and disappear off? Could Piastri disappear off? You've got other good drivers up and down the grid. You've got Gasly and Ocon, because Ocon, don't know if he still is, but he was a Mercedes driver, as in Mercedes-backed driver. So could they recall Ocon back to Mercedes? And like I said, Gasly, he's not a bad driver. He's just never really had the equipment to show off his skills. Then again, he might be one of these drivers who just his career is eternally spent in middling cars, and he that's what he thrives on doing. Who knows? But it's very interesting. Interesting times afoot. Be very odd to see Lewis in the red. Be amazing though if he wins. And it's one of those things my allegiances on the driver front might shift, because as mentioned, I like Gasly and Bottas, but I might start backing Hamilton. Jesus Christ. Hamilton at Ferrari. Didn't think it was ever going to happen. What do you think? Give us a like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Like the Facebook page, which is at Velocity Kinetics. If you like what we do and want to donate and help us grow, get better equipment, site and things, donate to paypal.me/Velocity Kinetics. Interact in the comments. Just let's see what's going on. More content on its way out soon. Drive safe.